Wholesaler grocery and building materials group Spar plans to sell its head office and other properties and lease its fleet as part of measures to reduce its 9 billion rand debt pile. For more on this, we're joined by the Spar Group CEO Angelo Swartz. Angelo, thank you so much for joining us. You had released interims a few days ago, earlier this week, which gave us a sense of the Spar Group balance sheet. It has reduced its 9 billion rand debt by more than 2 billion since pulling out of Poland. What would you describe the state of the balance sheet right now?
Oliver, thank you for having me. We didn't release interims, we reduced our integrated annual report. But yes, we did reduce debt substantially, down from over 11 billion more than a year ago. So I think the balance sheet's a lot healthier than we have been in a while, and really pleased with where we've ended up so far.
Let's talk about what happened in Poland, because that's really where a great deal of the debt has come from, and that's what's happening right now. That's what's informing some of the strategic operational decisions being taken at the moment. What were some of the key lessons about that attempt to expand into Poland?
Yeah, I think Poland was a massively exciting opportunity for us. It's one of the fastest growing European economies, with a retail landscape that looks similar to what South Africa did a few years ago. And we felt with a large number of independents, our style of wholesale, bringing supermarkets into our fold would be fairly easy. And unfortunately, given the timing around COVID and what has happened since, that didn't happen. Just in terms of key lessons for us, really, I think the most important lesson we learned is whenever looking at a foreign country, is make sure that you have strong management teams on the ground, and not that the management team wasn't strong. But we did send a number of South Africans in there, and I think a lesson that we've learned is that locals know their countries best. And I think going forward, that if we do expand out of SA, although that's not in the plans in the short term, we will focus on the strength of local management teams.
Yeah. Did the Spar Group feel a pressure to expand into different markets, especially having watched its competitors, ShopRite, go into the rest of the continent, particularly West Africa, and Woolworths going into Australia, that it feel that it was missing out on global M&A action and felt the need to gamble globally as well? Or was the decision in 2019 entirely informed by what the opportunity was that was on the table?
Yeah, I think, Oliver, just I obviously can't talk for previous management, but looking back at it, bear in mind that our first foray into Europe was the purchase of our Irish business, and that was done around 2014. A very successful, and continues to be a very successful acquisition, and one that is part of the heart of our business now. We then followed that up with the acquisition of a Swiss business, relatively successful at the time, maybe not so much at the moment. And then obviously had our tails up, felt we knew how to deal with business in Europe, and based on that, saw the opportunity in Poland, and the fact that there was a Spar license up for grabs, which we took, and obviously didn't do as well as we would have liked.
Yeah. Yeah. Does this change at all the company's outlook on expansion, particularly into foreign markets?
I think it does, Oliver. I think for now, our focus is going to remain on the heart of our business, being South Africa. And South Africa is in a very, very competitive food retail market, and one where I think our energies are best spent at home, focusing on the challenges in our local market. And really expanding our local business and expanding the heart of our business. Yeah.
So now there's some strategic operational changes that seems to have been proposed in the wake of the integrated results and reports that had been released. And that is the leasing of the Spar fleet and the potential selling of its KZN-based head offices. You've stabilized your debt, doing significantly better today than a year ago. Why the need to free up some more cash?
Oliver, I think reducing our debt remains a focus for the business. Although we've stabilized the situation, I think we'd like to be a bit more comfortable. At this stage, our ideas around leasing our fleet are still in its infancy, and we haven't committed to that. But it is an opportunity to bring some cash in, a significant amount of cash in, and it's something we're exploring at the moment. In terms of the sale of our head office, our head office is attached to a shopping centre we own called the Knowles Shopping Centre, and when we decided to sell that shopping centre, it made sense to sell the head office property together with it. We could maximise value that way. But our view is that we want to remain based in KZN, and we are going to remain in that head office building, so we've leased it. And over the next 5 years or so, we will figure out whether we want to relocate that building or not.
Yeah. And just the last question here, Angelo, how much cash is it projected to free up the potential leasing of the fleet and the sale of the shopping centre, which has the head office attached to it? Is it a substantial amount?
It is a substantial amount. The sale of the property is upward of 200 million rand, and the leasing of the fleet will free up probably somewhere around 500 million rands worth of cash, if that's what we decide to do. We obviously have to look at how that plays out in terms of our income statement and make the wisest decision possible there.
Yeah.
And as I say, it's just something we're considering at the moment.
Do you remain confident and optimistic about South Africa consumer confidence over the next fiscal?
Yeah, we very much do. I think South Africa is a country that seems to be on up at the moment. It's obviously our home, and we are very proud to be South African and want to support the growth trajectory of the country in general. And we think that there's South Africans are resilient people, and that the economy will come back strong in 2025 and the years to come.
Angelo Swartz, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Angelo Swartz is the CEO of the Spar Group.